Oh, that's not what it sounded like. It sounded like you were being uncomfortable.
I was a little. Well, I mean, I was uncomfortable. That was me getting comfortable.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Hopefully, you can't hear what's going on in the background. Apparently, the neighbor's getting some sort of work done, and they're just rocking out over there.
That's good, I guess. I mean, good for them.
Yeah, right.
But no, I can't hear anything.
Good. Good.
Good, he says.
Good. Speaking of good, how you been?
I've been alright.
You been alright?
It's been a long week, it feels like.
It really does feel like a long week.
Not know why.
Just want it to be over with, but at the same time, I have way too much that I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Bum. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty much it.
Okay. It's good.
Today feels like a slow, or today, this week, like we said, it feels like a slow week. Like there wasn't really even anything in the news that I really cared for this past week. A couple of holdovers from previous weeks, but nothing too, I think, too interesting, to be honest.
Yeah, no. Nintendo Direct was yesterday.
Yeah, apparently, I love a couple of things with that. One, I love how they announced it, and they're like, "Yeah, we're doing it tomorrow," and it's like, "Oh, fuck!" Like you couldn't have given anybody else a little bit more of a heads up on it.
Nah. They want to keep you on your toes, Joseph.
I'm always on my toes. But then what? Oh no!
Oh no.
I knocked over dog meat.
Oh, you monster.
Dog meat. But then I can't remember what university it was. Apparently, there was some university. Some kid had a class during the time that they were going to do the Nintendo Direct, and he sends an email to his professor, like not even saying, from what I understand, because I didn't actually read the email. There's just basically clips from the email. He was saying that, hey, could you basically cancel class? There's a big life-changing event happening. And he's being very vague about stuff. Anyway, it elicited a police response because they were like, oh, is this going to be like a mass shooting? Like, hey, make sure you cancel class because a life-changing event is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what the fallout from that was, but don't do that. don't don't be vague about stuff anymore these days. But anyway, yeah. So what did they announce? I only saw what you texted yesterday, which was the
remaster.
Remaster. That's the word I'm looking for of the Metroid Prime series, or at least Metroid Prime 1. I think they're doing the whole series. And Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Sun. I don't know.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Sun would be a totally different movie. It'd have Bruce Willis in it and be a lot of killing.
Yeah. And a weird slow-mo thing at the end.
A weird slow-mo thing at the end. I didn't watch anything about it, read anything about it. Did you? Obviously you did. I told you they're doing work over at the neighbor's house and the dog's not having it.
So I read a little bit about it. I was working at the time. I just saw obviously the two things I took out of it were the ones I sent over. The crazy part about the Metroid Prime remaster is it's out. Like,
oh, it's out.
The digital version is out yesterday.
That's cool.
And then the physical version of it, if you would like to buy it on a cartridge, or card or cart or whatever the fuck they call those now, will be out on the 22nd.
That's cool.
So I was like, I thought like this was like, hey, come out this holiday. They're like, hey, today's that holiday.
Yeah. So as far as Prime goes, it's just the first one, or is it like the whole collection?
So from what I saw, they just referred to it as Metroid Prime, and all I could see was that it was the first one because it's which hurts my soul and my brain a little bit to hear why they're doing it this year and today or whatever yesterday as of recording
Okay.
Wednesday. Uh, it's the game's 20th anniversary,
Yeah, that hurts me too.
and I was like, wait, hold on, no, Metroid Prime though.
Yeah, it came out a couple of years ago, right?
I
Like
was like, yeah, that's cool, like Metroid Prime,
like
like
5 years ago.
like all right, what? And so I don't have it pulled up anymore. But yeah, but it was like 20
First
years ago.
Prime launched 2 decades ago on the GameCube. Wow.
Yeah, and like it's not even like the. Then I was like, oh okay, so like but it's actually like this is the year like 21 years because it came out in 2002,
Wow.
and I was like, the GameCube came out in 2002, and I was like, oh, that's right because I remember I had pre-ordered a GameCube right before I moved here and had to drive back to San Diego to get it.
Wow, you pre-ordered a GameCube?
Yeah, because
Damn.
there was a EB Games, if you remember EB Games.
I do remember EV games.
They were doing a thing where if you pre-order it, obviously you get the console and guaranteed you one. And it's one of the things you have to pay off before the day of, or pay off to the day of. But there was an incentive if you pre-ordered it and had it paid off before the launch, you got 20% off, or I think it was 20% off of 5 games.
Oh,
So
okay.
we ended up buying like pretty much all the launch games. We bought Super Mario Sunshine, Rogue Squadron. I can't remember the other ones now, but
Yeah, I don't
a
remember launch
handful of
games
them
for it.
that same time. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But we had to drive back to San Diego to get it because you can't transfer the pre-order to another location because it's sent to your location that you pre-ordered it from. So
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, but yeah, the GameCube launched in 2001, and then a year later, Prime came out, and I was all about that because that game was rad.
That's cool. I really love this game, but I don't know if I'd replay it. I'm the type of person that doesn't. Once I beat a game, I don't. There's no replay value in it for me unless it's an open world game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So while it's cool to have this on a newer console, it's just also I would rather have just had a new game. Give me Metroid Prime what 4?
It would be 3.
No, they had 3. I know there was 3 because I never actually finished 3.
Was there a third one?
Yeah, it was with Dark Samus. I never actually finished it. The only Metroid Prime game that I got to the final boss and was just like, this is bullshit. Because you're in a world that you're constantly losing health, and so you're fighting the final boss while just losing health constantly. And for some reason, my little kid brain back then just couldn't handle that, couldn't do it. So there's some save card somewhere on my GameCube. GameCube? What did that come out on? Metroid Prime 3. Corruption.
Oh, that's right. I do remember this one. I hated the third one.
Yeah, like I didn't hate it. It just wasn't. It's just the final boss for me was not as good as the rest of them. Obviously, like I'm saying, you just end up in an area where you just unless you like really hardcore went through and collected all the energy tanks, which back then I used to do. But I don't think I did 4-3. What system was this on?
It was on the Wii.
It was on the Wii.
That's why I
Okay.
hated it because you had to use the nunchuck and the Wii controller and their stupid motion controls.
See, I don't remember having that much of a problem with the motion controls,
I hated it.
but I just that final boss battle in that world where you're constantly losing health was just kicking my ass, and it stopped being fun after that. And I remember just like, nah, I'll finish this some other time. And then what? This came out in 2005, 2007.
Yeah.
So 10 plus years later, still haven't finished it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Actually, I don't think I even got that far. I got frustrated with the motion controls, and I'm pretty sure I stopped playing it.
So there'd be a possibility, if they finish the remasters of these, I might play Metroid Prime 3 just to say that I actually finished it out, because I don't like, not finishing games unless they're terrible, and I don't consider that terrible.
I do.
Well, we can agree to disagree.
We can agree that I was correct.
No. Anyway, so the other game they announced was Breath of the Wild, Tears of
The Kingdom.
the Kingdom. Did they show any gameplay footage of that?
There's a new trailer. The one I sent. I think I sent it to you, right?
You sent it, yeah.
It has all new gameplay in it.
That's cool. Tears of the Kingdom. There it is.
Yeah, there's vehicles in it.
Like full-on cars?
Yeah. Watch the trailer. It's weird. Don't get me wrong. It looks awesome, but they're like vehicles powered by like the machine technology from the game.
Yeah.
And so there's like a flying one. The picture I'm looking at right now is actually a car, and you're using like joysticks to move the car, and it has headlights. It's very bizarre, and I was like, all right, okay.
That's cool, because I've always wanted a Zelda game that kind of pushes it a little bit further in time in that kingdom. I always wonder what if you would take a Zelda and put it in like now, like a more modern setting, what would that look like and feel like? It'd be definitely weird, because obviously you have more of an emphasis on like maybe like guns and stuff like that versus swords. But what would be like getting around? You have cars, vehicles, and stuff like that, and how would you do that type of interaction with the world and combat, and what would the story look like? So it is kind of interesting that they are slowly just like, what if we introduce vehicles into it? Let's see what happens. It's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, it's there's like, I guess
the trailer now.
Yeah.
So far, I haven't seen any vehicles.
Don't worry, it'll pop up.
It's probably one of those like surprise things at the end. This is another game though that I started playing Breath of the Wild, and I got to the third of the Great Beasts, which is the for me, which is the Gerudo one, and I fell off playing it because it basically requires you to farm money in order to get into the place. And I'm like, well, I don't want to just sit there and farm things. I want to hit things with swords.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that reminds me of what was it, Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, or no?
One of those ones.
Yeah, one of those ones. Like they were trying to do something different, so it was kind of like a quasi put together your own racer game type thing, and it like tanked because nobody liked that mechanic.
Yep.
That's literally what that car looked like to me. It's not even like a car, it's more like a moving platform.
Yeah. But I was like, oh, okay.
It looks cool. It looks like more of the same, which, when you really nail one formula, why completely change it? Obviously, not knowing what happens at the end of the first game, how does Ganon come back, it looks like, or what happens at the beginning of here.
You're gonna have to play the first game, Joe.
I'm gonna have to play the first game. I'm gonna have to dust off my Switch.
Yep, same. Not to I mean, I've already beat the first one. Um,
Right.
I guess I could go back and play the extra stuff that's in there, but yeah, that seems like a lot of work.
The DLC. Did you play all the DLC?
I didn't play any of them.
Any of them?
They
So
were,
you didn't get the motorcycle or there was what, two DLCs?
yeah, something like that. I don't know.
I think there was a motorcycle and more shrines.
Yeah, probably sounds about right.
Yeah, whatever. Was there anything else cool? I know I pulled up a list here from Nintendo Direct, but I didn't.
Nothing. I mean, nothing crazy. Pikmin 4, a new Professor Layton game, uh, Kirby's Return to Dreamland, something or other, deluxe.
Splatoon 3 DLC.
Yeah, Mario. They announced the next wave of Mario Kart, uh, 8 deluxe maps or arenas or whatever the fuck they're called, um, with new characters, including Birdo and the Yoshi Islands map.
Interesting. They have the new Bayonetta origin storybook inspired adventure.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I saw that. I was like, I haven't played past the first one, and I wasn't even a fan of that game. So
Those are the type of games that they look like they might be fun to play because it's very much in the same style as Devil May Cry,
very much so, yes.
and they look fun to play. And I remember trying to play Devil May Cry 3. I want to say it was, and I got to a certain point where it was just like, this stopped being fun. Like, this looks like fun. Like, for somebody who can actually really play this, it looks like fun, but it's not. It stopped being fun to me.
Yeah, same.
What else is there? Fire
Uh,
Emblem Engage.
yeah, there was Dead Cells Return to Castlevania.
There's a lot of stuff here, but there's not really much more. That's the problem that I had with the Switch, though, and I kind of regret buying it a little bit. Is that I bought it for Metroid Dread, and then thinking, oh, I can go play, Legend of Zelda, and I'm sure there's a ton of other games out there that I haven't paid attention to because I didn't pay attention to the Switch really at all. And then there was basically nothing.
Yeah,
So that's why it's basically sat there and done nothing.
yeah. The
And
Switch.
at this point, like my brother bought a Steam Deck a while ago and has just been having so much fun with running random games on that thing. He even bought the new Harry Potter game, pre-ordered it, and so he's been playing the new Harry Potter game on there.
First off, it's not a Harry Potter game, sir.
It is a Harry Potter universe game.
There you go.
Yeah, I should say yes. It is not a Harry Potter game because it doesn't feature Harry Potter or any of the main cast of the Harry Potter series because it actually takes place, 30, 40, 50, whatever years before.
Something like that. Yeah. Hogwarts Legacy is what Joe is talking about.
Yes. But it takes place so many years before the actual events of the main game, or main series, I should say,
Yeah.
not main game. Excuse me.
Yeah, I get it.
He's not that far into it, but I have watched some other reviews of it, and without playing it myself, it actually looks pretty cool. I will say this one thing that Adam told me about, but no other reviewer has mentioned, and I'm wondering if that's because their review copies weren't linked in that way, because obviously they get a lot of the stuff way before other people get it, and so this feature might not have been out when they released the game for those guys. So it has you link when you first boot up the game, it has you link your Harry Potter account.
Yeah.
From whatever it is, harrypotter.com. And maybe you have. I haven't seen this in any of the promotional material though. So obviously in the game you go through sorting into which house that you're going to go, that you get put into. Now in the game, if you just play it through, like every other review I saw, it was just like, yeah, you answer a bunch of questions and then it sorts you through. However, if you've already done that on the Harry Potter website, it ports that over and gives you the option to keep that. So if you've done all of that already on the Harry Potter website, you don't have to do it again in the game, which is pretty cool. Which makes me wonder, because on that same website, you can do, find your wand, and also what's your Patronus thing.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of cool that it would import all that stuff from HarryPotter.com for you. Now, of course, if in the game, if you've never done that stuff before on the website, or you don't link anything to the website, obviously you'd have those options in the game to choose that stuff if they're available. I'm not sure if they are. I just know that the sorting is. Obviously, you'd have those options in game, but it'd just be really cool to just automatically port that shit over because you've already done it.
Yeah. I did not know that was a thing because I have yet to read much about the game. Not because I was like disinterested in it, but I was like, I'm gonna wait till it's out because.
Well, yeah, we still have another day or two before it's officially out. The reason why Adam has it right now is because he pre-ordered it, and if you pre-ordered it, you got it 3 days earlier than anybody else.
Yeah, because it comes out tomorrow. As of recording tomorrow, when you can first hear this podcast today, if that makes any sense.
So Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not know you could actually. That's pretty rad. So if you link your Harry Potter fan club in Warner Brother game accounts for more personal house selection, which method you decide can influence the Sorting Hat's decision. Interesting.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder if they do anything else down the line. Haven't seen anything or heard anything really from Adam, who's probably only a few hours into it, but he's thoroughly enjoying it, and everyone that I've seen that has reviewed it is thoroughly enjoying it. I just like that you're basically it's not even it's an open world, but it's not even an open world where you have to do things to unlock the world.
Yeah.
It's literally just available to you from the get-go. You start the game, go through whatever intro you go through, and then that's it. You can go and explore the world. You probably shouldn't, because there's going to be higher level areas that are going to basically kill you right away, especially the way they do the learning the spells and whatnot. You're not just given everything right away. Obviously, you have to slowly learn them throughout the game. But yeah, you could just basically hop on your broomstick and just fly wherever you want to go in the map, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, because you have access to Hogwarts grounds, Hogsmeade, as well as the forest.
Another cool thing that I learned is you will be given the option at a certain point. Again, because it's an open world thing, you may miss it because it's a side quest that you can take up, but you can actually learn the dark arts in the game.
Yeah.
And become a full master of the dark arts.
Yep. Yeah,
because you want
to. There's people striving to basically learn the most dangerous spell.
Yeah. So I think it'd be cool.
Or curse, I think is actually
a gray wizard, as it were.
Yeah.
To borrow from the Jedi. But yeah, it seems like a really cool and fun game.
Yeah, Paige was asking me if I was going to get it. I was like, I don't know. In a way, I kind of want to, but also maybe I don't want to.
It definitely would be a time sink. Something that you and I probably only don't get a whole lot of, really.
Yeah.
So playing only a few hours at a time. But that's cool. What my brother, with my brother has is the Steam Deck, so he can basically play pretty much wherever he wants.
Yeah.
The only thing that I lament a little bit after hearing about all this stuff and how good the game looks and how well it plays is that it is only a single player game, from what I understand.
Yeah.
So there is no multiplayer. So if we want to play together, which would have been fun, just classmates hop in with each other, go fly around and do stuff would be fun. But unfortunately, it is just a straightforward single player game.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But it is what it is. I mean, we don't need multiplayer. On the one hand, we don't need multiplayer shoehorned in every single game that we have. But on the other hand, it is kind of nice to have it in some single player games, especially more open world games. You know, it would have been nice to have it in Halo Infinite because that is a more open world game where you can have fun with a lot of friends, and that was something that was promised on launch day but never ever happened.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Boom, got him.
You know, obviously it was never promised here, but it was just one of those things that once it got closer and closer, it's like, oh, this is actually turning out to be a good game. This is interesting to play, and it might be actually something fun to play with multiple people. So it would have been cool. Alas, they didn't do it.
Alas, they didn't. They let us down, Joe.
Yeah.
They let us down.
How dare they?
How
I'm
dare
not
they?
going to buy this game because of that. Not because it's also only available on next-gen consoles, and I technically have a next-gen console, but I'm not going to sit here and play in my room, for one. And another, is the S really considered a next-gen console?
It's next gen light.
Yeah, it's next-gen light. It's not going to play it very well. So they say that they're still working on. They're going to release the previous gen version sometime in the future. I don't know when. I never looked it up.
It doesn't really matter. Those consoles are dead.
They're dead to you.
Yep. I have the next gen consoles, so I don't care.
Yeah, and you play Destiny on it.
Hey man, don't be dragging my name through the mud like that. And I do play Destiny on it, and just need Dreamlight. Thank you very much.
Does that require it to be a Series X?
No, because it's also available on the Switch.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
Just saying.
Destiny,
right now, there is no game that necessitates a Series X.
Destiny 2 does have a next gen patch though.
Yes, to make it look prettier, but it could also be played on
a shitty old console. Yeah.
Just saying.
I do need to take a vacation just so I can play video games though.
We both do. Just get through some games. Like I started playing. Well, I mean, I don't really care about Evil Within that much, but I started playing it, and I haven't played it in a few weeks.
That game was pretty cool.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one thing I do miss about getting COVID is that it so happened to coincide with the release of Cyberpunk, and I played the fuck out of Cyberpunk.
That's another game I need to pick back up, but it's like again, it's like one of those time suck games, and I don't really have time to sit there and invest in playing a game where you have to actually do it. Where like Destiny, I don't really have to do anything.
The weird, sad part is like I'm the only one that I know that has played and finished Cyberpunk. Like my brother has played it, but never finished it. You played it, ran into a bug, and then never finished it.
Yeah.
And I think there were some other people that I used to work with that started playing the game but never finished it. It was actually a really good game.
Yeah, I liked it until
really
I couldn't
was.
play anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I do suggest that you go back and play it because eventually they're going to release the DLC. What was it? Sons of Liberty?
Whatever it's called, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. But unfortunately, it's not coming to previous gens consoles. So I might have to either build a new computer just to play that DLC or buy a new Xbox. I'm not really sure yet.
Suck it, nerd.
Yeah, I know, right? Whatever.
Hey, speaking of suck it, nerd.
Yeah?
The prequel to A Quiet Place has started shooting.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's called. It's not. I don't like the title.
It's the prequel to it, right?
Yeah, it's called A Quiet Place Day One.
Day One, yeah.
It just seems very weirdly generic to me for some reason. Do I have a better name for it? No. I'm just saying it just seems very.
I do agree it is very generic because there was another like zombie game or something like that that's supposed to be coming out soon that was called like Day One or something like that. Or yeah, it yeah, I do agree that the name probably could be better. Yeah.
But I was like, that's cool, and he took pictures because he's producing it. He's not directing this one, but he's producing it, and obviously he's there. Um, and it looked, I was like, oh, that's cool, because I like those movies. So I'm excited for that one.
I will say that I still have yet to see the second one.
You haven't seen the second one, Joe?
No, I haven't seen the second one.
Man,
You guys went to it in theaters, and I couldn't go for some reason. I don't remember what it was.
yeah,
So I still have yet to see the second one. But I do thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one.
yeah. Second one is it's good, man. I'm trying to think of a better word than good, but it expands on the world, and goes from there. Like, and it's everyone in it is just tremendous, and shit goes fucking south, and then doesn't go south, and then kind of goes east. If you know what I mean.
Yes, I do know what you mean.
And some pretty there's a really intense scene where like I don't like the feeling I'm feeling right now. Like I just want to leave.
Yeah. Feeling feelings is pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Did you see that? Obviously, we talked about a lot of the shakeup. I think last week of the DC universe. My hatred for that name, but whatever. That Keanu Reeves is still saying that the possibility of a Constantine sequel is in the mix.
Yeah. Then there's people saying that like he's saying that it might be. I don't know. It was weird because there's a lot of conflicting like stuff going around, and obviously nothing official has been announced by anybody. So it's like, all right, well, I mean,
this would fall well within the DCECUC IC ice cream for ice cream, whatever it is.
just the DCE
extended universe type thing. Other worlds, Elseworlds.
Elseworlds. That's all you have to call it.
There we go, Elseworlds.
That's
I
all it
eventually
is.
got to it.
Yeah, eventually.
So I'd be happy for that. I'm probably one of the few people that really enjoyed the first Constantine. So I'd be really happy if they made a sequel for it. I just like that character too. I really like the TV show. I think it could have been a little bit more adult, obviously.
Yeah, they shouldn't have put it on NBC.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I really like that character and want to see more of it. Maybe make a HBO version of that character.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Really cool.
we could have it. It all depends on obviously they want to not clutter the waters with too much stuff. Clearly, but I mean, I'm sure at one point that character will pop up, especially since they're already going into the realm of the supernatural with Swamp Thing and stuff. So,
So we definitely could see a Constantine somewhere in the mainline universe.
yeah.
Pretty cool. But speaking of, video game adaptations,
Yes.
I thought that was just a funny little side note for The Last of Us, which I still have yet to watch. It's in episode 5. Apparently, it's getting great rave reviews. People really love it.
Yeah.
People
do really love it, Joe.
People who just love that type of stuff anyway, post-apocalyptic shit. Apparently, it's really a really good thing. I'm just gonna wait a little bit longer to watch it. Anyway, it was in an interview that Pedro Pascal was doing with who was it? Oh, Jimmy Fallon. And apparently, Pedro Pascal really wanted this role, and he's in another country when he was auditioning for it, and so he had to stay up really late in order to talk to the producers and kind of go through the audition a little bit. He finishes it, super late, super tired. So he's like, "Well, I got shit to do the next day," because I think he was in that country filming something. So he pops a fucking Ambien, goes to sleep. Apparently, sometime later, the producers called him and said, "Hey, man, you got the job." He's like, "Okay, whatever." Goes back to sleep because he's on Ambien, and he wakes up the next day and he's like, "Man, I really hope they call me back, and I'm really nervous that that I didn't get it, and blah blah blah." Then apparently he goes on like Twitter and stuff, and they announced that he got it, but because he was on the Ambien, didn't realize at all that he had answered the phone and got the job. So I thought that was pretty funny. A little side note for it.
That is pretty good.
Just also, what?
I really enjoy the show. By the way, if you're wondering, Joe.
I actually was wondering if you had watched it. Yes.
I've watched the first 2 episodes because I'm trying to do so the thing is, I wasn't doing this on purpose, but it just works out this way. Is the first episode is 80 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
The second episode is like just shy of an hour, I think. Then episode 3 does the same thing. And I'm like, oh, this is working out. But I was like, I'm going to watch 2 episodes at a time, right? Because I was planning it like a movie, like 2 hours, right? Well, obviously that got ruined by the time they actually have in there. But I was like, oh, that's cool. I guess I'll continue that. So like we just plan to watch like 2 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's tremendous. And the first episode, later I found out the first episode was actually originally planned to be 2 40-minute episodes. But they liked the pacing of it, so they said, fuck it. We don't want to conform to anybody's standards, so we'll just make it one big long-ass episode.
Why not?
Yeah, you're on cable, first off, but you're also on the internet, so there's no rules, man. Like, there's no rules.
I have the feeling, too, that a lot of these shows have like longer first episodes lately. So, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or they release the first 2 episodes, and one might as well be one long episode.
Exactly, because I'm gonna watch them back to back.
Yeah, that's what they're meant to do.
So I thought it was pretty cool.
I'll eventually get around to watching it.
Yeah,
I still have to finish. I keep wanting to call it the Golden Compass, but it's His Dark Materials.
His Dark Materials.
I got like 4 episodes into the final season and just haven't gone back. It not because it's not good, but just because life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Of stuff, and I eventually end up with the Mike syndrome, where it's like, well, now like 5 episodes back in a bunch of different shows. So meh. I'll eventually get around to it sometime.
It'll happen.
It'll happen once I stop having things to do on the weekends. Did you hear that Batista wants to be in the Years of War Netflix movie?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Well, I that's what we're talking about now.
Oh no,
he
dude!
Really wants to be in it.
He has custom made armor.
Did he? Oh, he actually went through and made custom made armor for it?
Yeah, and he did a screen test with it without like being asked to.
No, I didn't know about him going that far into it.
Oh yeah, dude! This dude is fucking in to win.
And he wants to play Marcus Phoenix, if I recall right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, come on. If he has custom-made armor, just let him do it. Just let him do it.
Let's see if I can find the... Yeah, he, like, posted, It
looks like Terry Crews has also wanted to be in the movie, so just, like, fuck it, man. Terry Crews as, what, A-Train?
Probably, yeah. If I had to guess.
And then Batista as Marcus Phoenix?
And what's funny is, Dave went so far into this that, the Coalition put him in the game. He's a Marcus Phoenix skin in the game.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Like you can play as Dave Bautista and Marcus as Marcus Phoenix.
That's fucking dope. See, just right there, just do it. I don't know why this hasn't been announced already of like him being the lead in the show or in the movie. I mean, I guess I can understand. I don't know how far into production that they are, whether they are actually casting or not, but like when Batista, that huge ass fucking dude, is like, no, I really want to do this. I even have special armor out there to do it. You're like, yeah, yeah, okay. No, I'm not gonna say no to you. Like we could hire somebody else, and you would show up on day of shooting and would be like, well, I guess we have to go with you because I'm too scared to say anything else.
Right.
That is pretty legit armor.
And then the second one I just sent is his skin from the game.
Yeah, with the exception of the armor being a bit bulkier, like it's damn near him.
Yep.
I like it. Do it. Let's do it.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, fuck it, bro.
Right? Cody, tell your people to tell their people.
I've been telling them, but no one wants to listen to me. But yeah, I just thought it was, yeah. So I mean, he has been pushing for this for a long time now.
Damn.
Like he's just waiting, and like if waiting longer, he just maybe too fucking busy to do it. He may be like, nope, I'm gonna go ahead and stop what I'm doing and want to do this.
Could be. Anyway, I think it would be dope.
Hell yeah.
I hope it happens.
Hell yeah.
See, is there anything else I want to talk about? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's a pretty light week for the most part. No, I don't care. IGN. Sorry.
The only other weird thing that I came across this week that's at least worth mentioning, just for the weird factor of it.
Yes.
So apparently Panera, the restaurant, is debuting a bright green baguette purse for Fashion Week.
What?
I don't know if this is actually purchasable, to be honest with you. Oh no, they are retailing. Yeah, there it is. I missed that. Retailing for $39.50. Starting, let's see. So a pre-sale of the baguette began February 7th, and despite there being only 500 purses for sale, they don't cost a lot of dough. Pun intended. I'm sure. This is coming from a website called Tasting Table. They are retailing for $39.50 plus taxes. Let me see. I'll pull up messages here and I'll shoot you the image if I can.
Disgusting.
There it goes. And away. It literally looks like something you possibly could jam a sandwich into if you really wanted to, or jam a baguette into.
Oh,
but it
Jesus.
also just looks like a regular purse. Like just a long purse. A long green purse. I thought that was weird.
That is very bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So beyond that little thing, that was basically it. I don't really have anything else to talk about this week.
Yikes. Yeah, there's some other little stuff, but nothing super important to bring up. I think that's all I had. Going through my stuff here. Yeah, I think that's all I had. Rest of this nonsense I was reading. Michael Bay making a TV show.
How can they afford that?
I don't know. It's Amazon, so.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So they can afford Michael Bay, but they can't afford to finish The Expanse. I got it.
That's why they had to get rid of The Expanse.
Well, fuck that.
They're like, we need to pay Michael Bay.
No. Finish The Expanse.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what the fuck
Although
wrong
I
with
do
you?
like the fact that, I mean, at least they're trying to finish The Expanse TV show's story.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Boom Comics apparently picked up the at least the rights to at least the comic book, I would say, to finish the TV's. I shouldn't even say that. Okay, I shouldn't say finish because the project they have up on Kickstarter right now just says that it takes place in between when the show stopped and book 7, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not that necessarily that they're finishing the series, the story in comic book form, but they're developing a comic book that takes place in between when the show stopped on Amazon and when the book 7 would pick up. It looks like it could be pretty cool. I really want to get in on it. I've never done Kickstarter before, but like the version I want is the $225 one, because having individual issues would be cool, but I really want the hardcover versions. At least the signed hardcover versions would be really cool to have. But man, $225 is just like, I literally just dropped $800 to get a bunch of shit on my car fixed.
Yep.
I can afford it, but I just don't want to spend it.
Same.
Type of thing. Yeah. I do think it was cool too that they met their stretch goals for most of the stuff. I think they still have like 2 more stretch goals that they could hit, which the amount of money that they were like, I was just sitting there watching the ticker go up on like how many people, how much has been donated for a little bit. So they're probably going to easily hit, I think it was the $500,000 stretch goal was the highest one that they had listed.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
But some of the ones that they hit already were like, yeah, every tier, with the exception of the $10 free tier, which I don't understand why you have like and maybe most Kickstarters like this is just an automatic thing, but they're like, yeah, $10, you just like the project, but you don't get anything. It's like, that's why.
Every Kickstarter has that, I'm pretty sure. Everyone I've seen has one of those, hey, we just want to donate, but it's like, you don't get nothing
why?
for it, though.
You get nothing from it. That's dumb. Give me at least 1 issue.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or 5 issues, because they'd probably be like $250 each or something like that if you sold them in store. But no, like one of the stretch goals was if they hit it, obviously they did, was that every tier, with the exception of the free tier, I'm guessing, would get a digital version of the comics.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be pretty cool.
Oh,
the other cool thing about it is at least it's Boom. I didn't know that they did the same thing for Berserker. The Keanu Reeves book, they mentioned in there that they kickstarted Berserker there.
Yep.
That would have been cool as well to see how much that stuff would be and maybe get something cool from that. But yeah, just man, I mean, honestly, I would really want the Rocinante version, the very last one. I forgot what they actually called it. But man, who has $1,500 drop on that type of stuff? It's already sold out too.
Yeah, which is insane.
But like, who has $1,500 to just drop on something like that?
So I pulled it up just now. They are at $544,084.
So then, what were the last 2 stretch goals? Because they weren't announced when I looked at them yesterday.
Let's see if because I don't know if they're showing off what the stretch goals are if you're not backing it.
No, they are. They are. If you scroll down through the main page, it showed what the stretch goals were.
I'm trying to see if there's, because some of them, well, the updates, they don't show you what they are. Day 1 bonus.
Day 1, yeah, it's just below the day 1 bonus.
Oh, here, okay, here they do have it on there. Oh, they're the last stretch goal is 550,000.
Oh, so it's not there yet. So what was the second to last one then?
Slipcase added to each hardcover in a box set. So tier 6 through 9
gets a slipcase.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the next stretch goal, which they're almost at anyways, mere less than $6,000 away, is Rocinante branded embroidered pilot beanie hat added to every physical pre-order of $100 or more.
God was another one. One of the other stretch goals was you get the embroidered patches. And I'm like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and
Feel like roast nut.
Boom is one of the studios that actually has incentives for comic shops too.
Mm-hmm.
So like this one talks about it here for our retail partners. Comic book stores are and will always be the lifeblood of the comic book industry. While Boom deluxe pre-order items offered in this campaign are limited edition, specialty items that would be impractical to solicit through traditional means, obviously comic book stores. Boom is happily working with comic shops or independent bookstore retailers who wish to carry them in their store. Interested retailers can contact us directly and blah, blah, blah. So they will then make retail versions for them.
So possibly could just get patches and stuff by themselves.
Yeah.
At a comic shop, if that comic shop decides to carry that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes it easier to get a hold of and stuff. I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done a few comic books, not just my friends' stuff that's on here, but other stuff. Like I did the 15th anniversary of the Trick or Treat omnibus collection. I did the Scott Snyder one for his last book, his last independent book. And obviously a couple of my of the friends projects that are on there. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. There's a lot of real shit on both Indiegogo and Kickstarter, plus all the other fucking sites like this. But there are a few that are actually quality stuff.
Because I would trust Boom. Like, it's literally, that's what they do, is they make comics. This is just something that they're doing as a limited edition run to see how, and then make it and then done. But they're actually, they're definitely going to actually release this stuff into comic shops. So it's.
But the incentives in this are what they're talking about in that little thing I just read.
Yeah.
Because they, obviously, comic shops would love to offer an incentive for a customer to pre-order it through them or just purchase it through them. But a lot of this is paying for those incentives, but also just to be able to fund the book to be made and then sent out to comic shops to be sold and things like that. So
so this is definitely something that I normally would probably back and get. It's just I don't really want to spend that much money right now.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
If your car didn't break down or whatever.
Yeah, right. Well, it wasn't breaking down, but you could hear the brakes grinding in the back, which is no fun.
Nah, homie.
Right. And then there were some other issues. Anyway, it's running fine now.
That's good.
Yeah. Things like a rock.
Hopefully not a rock, like a mobile rock.
Oh, yeah, like a mobile rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, oof, Joe, you just paid to get your brakes fixed. It shouldn't be just stopped stationary, getting moss growing on one side of it.
Nah, it's like a rolling rock.
Like the shitty beer.
Yeah.
All right. Anywho, I guess that's it for this here episode of Comes Naturally. As usual, we have been
Joe.
I have been Cody. And as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.